Podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Charlotte Bulldogs high school sports. All right, everyone. Welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Roma Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. Phelps County Bank, they are bankers by day, but they are Bulldog fans by night. They are 100% employee-owned, and they are 100% community champions. Go visit them at mypcb.com. Find out more about how Phelps County Bank can help you out. All right, this is Season 3, Episode 53 of the Taylor Chrysler, easy for me to say, Taylor Chrysler Coach Talk Edition of the year. And it's the first time here with Coach Parker of our Lady Bulldogs start the 2026 year.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Did you have a good New Year?
Yeah, I did.
You guys got any big tradition?
No, so it was me and my wife's 10-year anniversary. So
Nice.
we took her to Florida. That's her favorite place down there on the Seagrove, the Seagrove area. So I took her down there and took her girls down there and just got away for a couple days.
Nice.
And refreshed and back to work.
That's always a lot of fun, man. Get a little bit of that sun. Of course, we had some of that nice weather here too earlier, then it got a little cold again. And that heat, man, that heat was actually showing up in the gym. So I'm going to tell you right now, the holiday tournament, the Mitch and Terisa Esquibel Girls Holiday Tournament, went on the day after Christmas, went on for their 3 days, their 26th, 27th, 28th. Lady Bulldogs, man, came out firing, ended up not ending the way you wanted. I mean, because that was a huge run you had of championships, but you fell in the championship game to the highly touted Marquette team who we faced last year. We're real familiar with them.
Yeah.
But before we talk about that championship game, let's go and take at those first two games. So the first game, you started off with, Hazelwood East, and that was
That's a good tune-up game.
that was a very good tune-up game.
It was fun. It was a game that everybody got to play. Everybody scored in.
Yeah.
And coming off the Christmas break and not practicing on Christmas, and it was treated it like a practice. And it was just a fun game to play. It was fun watching my younger girls, my JV girls getting in there and getting an opportunity to play, and watching my varsity girls, their interaction with them and their happiness to see their success. Because every time somebody would score, they would all be cheering, and so that's good to see those girls do that and see those other girls get to succeed at that level.
That was nice. That was the 72-20 route of Hazelwood East. Hazelwood East really had kind of that one dominant player inside. Nice player. But man, I'm not being critical, just tough. Not a lot of pieces around her.
Yeah.
But man, she has a great footwork in there. Had a lot of size in there. She was a physical presence.
Yeah, she was a really nice player. Done a good job with the back to the basket, which you hardly see anymore.
And
game is
that drop step, man, it was nice.
She reminded me of the Audie Crooks girl.
Yes, that's exactly. It's exactly same type of moves.
Yep.
Great finish, great touch.
She was a nice player. And then, Riley Anderson got an opportunity to face something like that. And she finally figured out the second half and was getting around it in front of it like she should. So, it was a good learning experience for her.
And, we were without Madison Hutton, who was sick. So she missed those first two games. So you ended up starting 4 freshmen, right?
Yeah. Three
freshmen. Yeah. That's right. 3 freshmen. Yeah, because at that point, the next game then you had Mariah and Riley Dodson.
Yes, we started 3 freshmen that game. 3 freshmen, a junior and a senior, and then we had Z. She came off the bench for us, and freshman, sophomore from there on out. But we got young. Not as young as we got the next night.
No. So the next night we go and we're taking on Webb City, which we knew was going to be a good team. They got votes, I think, in the state ranking. Mm-hmm. Might actually be ranked. I can't remember if they had votes or if they were ranked, but we knew they were really good. They're 7-4 now. After the defeat that we put on them, and that ended up being a heck of a ball game. And again, Madison Hutton's out, so again, go with the same lineup we had the first night, and then
Madison Hutton's out. And Riley Dawson.
So, okay, before we go, though, so Webb City's big. Webb City's got size. They got 2 sets of sisters. They have the triplets. Who are 6'1" juniors.
Yep.
6'1" junior girls. Okay, so you got triplets. Then they had the other three sisters, which is the sophomore, junior, senior.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say it was the junior that was probably their top player. I can't remember.
Then they had the junior was one of their better players. Then they had Jason Horn's daughter.
That's right.
Jason Horn's daughter, and he's if you ever play in the hoops, or not the hoops Midwest, but up around Stratford and Hartville tournaments, you run into Clint Horn, so it's his niece. Really nice player,
And
good shooter.
Jason's the head coach of the boys side of Webb City.
He's a head coach, and he was a nice player, real athletic guy, and man, they just had a really they had a really good team, and Grant does a good job with them. And they had size, and they had good guard play and shooters, and
that press was long too when they got up,
yep.
and they got press. Yeah, physical.
Yep,
very physical game.
Yep, and it was already going to be tough for us. Their only two losses. They lost to a team out of Arkansas, which was last year's state champion, and they lost to McDonald County, who was ranked in the state. That was their only two losses coming into us. And McDonald County only beat it by 4. And they got us down. And
and how'd we get down?
We was down Madison already, sick. And then Riley Dodson, somebody that we really look up to and lean on.
All-stater.
All-stater. She picks up 3 fouls in the first half and comes to the bench. And we're sitting there with 4 freshmen and Mariah Watkins on the floor. And we got really young. And we played young, but we still held our own.
Yeah.
We had a lead there, and they hit a 3 right there at the buzzer, but we had a 3-point lead, and we was holding our own with those young girls. So I'll tip my hat to them.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's nice to see them come in and have that success and still work hard and not choke one up, because a lot of girls in that situation, being young,
home tournament,
good crowd against a good team,
high expectations.
Yeah, it could go south for you, but they've done a good job of stepping up to the occasion in that. And
and Riley Dodson went out with 2 fouls in the first quarter, so she sat almost half that first quarter.
Yeah, about half the first quarter.
And then it was like within the first minute of the third quarter.
Third quarter, she picks up her third and comes and sets the whole second.
Yeah, we were on the call. I was on the call with JP Maxwell out of 104.9 Season Ticket. We ran the radio broadcast to that, and that was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, it was tough, and we just trying to grind. We was putting so much effort into trying to get them turned over, and we had some bonehead turnovers, and just not getting the ball where it needed to be, and couldn't get them settled down to listen to what I wanted where I wanted to get them. I wanted to get Bella in the high post there and get her, because they opened the high post up so much. I was trying to get the ball to her in the high post and get her attacking downhill, where they had to tighten it up a little bit to allow Riley to get going from the outside. And we just was kicking it around. And but the second half, we calmed down a little bit, started getting the ball where it needed to go. Bella done a good job getting to the rim. When they come in on her, she done a good job of dropping it off to Riley Anderson on the backside. Grace Fontenot come in.
Oh, she did.
Oh my goodness, that girl played. I know she has it in her, and I've been telling her all year long, and she's getting closer and closer and closer to, Coach Allen. He's starting to sweat down there, because he told me after the game, he's like, great. He's like, now I've lost Grace because you're gonna take her, But she done such a great job. She come in off the bench, and I know she's not scared, and she'll go to battle. And she came in and got after it defensively, and really turned it for us. That was the spark we needed, and she brought it for us. And she played it all the way to the end of the game, besides just a few minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't just like the steals, but it was the on-ball defense. But then in the passing lane, she was getting deflections and kind of flustered them. So whether they led to actual turnovers or steals, she was just so active defensively. And like you said, it was a spark when everyone else was kind of feeling that early. That kind of that little fresh blood in there really seemed to do a lot for you in the game. It's
almost like when she started going, we all kind of started seeing it, and we started working a little bit harder. And then there was about 3.5 minutes left. He was only up about 5. He went to pull it out on us. I thought, that's kind of a little early to do
Yeah,
that. And so he called a timeout, and there was 2:58 on the. I remember looking up. There's 2:58 on the clock, and we were down 4. And I told the girls, I said, "Hey, this is striking
yeah,
distance. We score fast. Like this could happen." And they come in, inbounded it. The very first pass off the inbounds came back and hit the scores table. We
yeah,
scored on that possession,
yeah.
and then we turned them over and scored on that possession. I thought, well, here we
Here it
go.
is.
And and then we run that out of bounds play right there down 2, and he shifted his zone on out of bounds really hard to the ball side, and I knew that the Dotson would be open on that backside, so we ran that out of bounds play that we run and kicked it to her, and she hit that 3 to put us up ahead, and I thought, well, here we go. And we ended up doing a good job down the stretch there, closing it out. Let the shooter, the horn girl, get loose in the corner and
Yeah,
knock that 3 down.
yeah,
But we come right back, and Bella answered on the other
yeah.
side, and when we started getting that momentum going, I felt comfortable
Mm.
again.
Yeah,
So
Bella Campbell had a big game, like 23,
22,
22, 20, like
22,
200
and
points.
8 or 9 boards.
And I don't know how many free throws she shot, but she only missed one
She's
or
eight,
two.
8 for
8 for
10.
10. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
8 for 10.
And what was really cool is because I don't know that she's always been a consistent free throw shooter,
Yeah,
right?
she's put a lot of time into
A
her
lot of time
free
in it.
throws, and she's shooting them really well right now. And I think to start her season off, she's struggled just a little bit, but she has really taken off. She had one game down there in Carthage. I think she may have been 11 for 14 from the free
Nice.
throw line, and that's pretty good for a
Yeah.
freshman.
Yeah.
And then not to mention she stepped up the night against Nixa and
Yeah.
hit that one,
Yeah.
in a tough spot, and she's really put a lot of emphasis on her free throw shooting.
Well,
So
at the end of the game, right here on this basket, um, she gets a rebound, and they're looking to foul because they have to. I think when Mariah was over there, and and she got it, she held it,
yeah,
and she's like, "I got this. I
yeah,
want it." And we made that comment that to see a freshman say, "No, no, I got this. I'm going to knock this down," because she just had hit again
yeah,
6, 7 in a row,
yeah.
and yeah, it was so cool to see kind of her finish out strong like that.
Yep. Me and hers talked about it quite a bit. She's gotten herself. She's a really passive player. Savannah was the same way. They're very passive players. They get everybody involved. Um, Too passive a lot of
Yeah,
times, and sometimes I'm like, you got to shoot that ball.
yeah,
You're right under the goal. Stop looking to throw it to somebody. And she gets herself in trouble a couple times this year. She has when she's caught it right underneath their goal, and she's looked for Mariah or Riley, and
yeah,
she's turned around to find them, and it got deflected or something, and led to an easy bucket right there. And I'm like, listen, keep the ball in your hands. You're very
yeah,
capable of it. And the same thing, she shoots the free throws so well that if she can't get it to Riley, keep the ball in
yeah,
your hands. Mariah shoots it at a high percentage as well. But any of those 3 right there in a late game situation, get the ball in your hands. And she done a good job of getting it there, cradling
yeah.
it, protecting it, and waiting for that
Wait for Al to
contact
come,
to
man.
come.
So you talked earlier as this was as you shifted your game plan, you wanted to get her in the high post, let her go to work,
Hmm.
which she was able to do,
Yep.
obviously effectively. But then what that also opened up, because in the first half, Riley Anderson again, true freshman, right? So she's in here. She was struggling a little bit with that size, and
Yeah.
you can see here. So she was looking to kick, but in that second half, when that happened and she was able to attack, they had to sneak up, and she was in that short corner, and she got multiple buckets
Yeah, she
in
got 2 or
there.
3 right in a
Yeah,
row
yeah,
off the backside right there. And she came in, and we went to her right off the bat in that game, and she turned around, and that's the difference in making that leap from 8th grade to varsity.
yeah,
Is in 8th grade you turn around, you make your move on somebody, and you turn around, you're finishing
yeah,
over the top of them. Now in varsity you turn around to make your move, and now you got a 6'1"
yeah,
girl sitting on the backside of
yeah,
you. And I think when she blocked her right there, it kind of got in her head a little
yep,
bit, and she started shying away from stuff that I wanted her to take. And we've been beating on her with the pad the last couple of weeks. And today I had the boys in there, and I had her going right at the boys. And she needs that stuff because she needs that confidence because I trust in her.
yeah,
And she's just going to get better and better. But she done a good job there at the end, not getting down on
yep,
herself. And Bella caught it at the high post, went to make a move, everything sucked in on her, and then boom, hit her on the
yep,
backside. I think she had 2 in a row off that.
yeah.
And so we finally listened to me. You know,
It's amazing how that works. Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
they'll just listen. That's
yeah,
what I tell
yeah,
them. I'm like, if you just listen, I'm trying to
yeah,
help you.
yeah,
You
yeah,
get we get that's In your earlier episode, I talked about having those lost possessions,
Mhm.
and that's that lost possession of not listening. I'm trying to help you get somewhere, and all of a sudden we start doing stuff one on one because we don't know what else to do, and then end up taking a bad
Yep.
shot, And if they'll just listen, which I want them to have freedom to play, but at times when we really need to execute or we're struggling to get an
Yeah.
execution, just listen. I'm trying to instruct you through it, and that's something that me and Riley and Mariah have all talked about because they're second coaches.
Yeah.
They've been in the program long enough. They're leaders that they're just as they're in charge just like I'm in charge. You start seeing us get like that,
Yeah.
you got to step up and be the
Yep.
coach on the court.
Yep.
And so they need to fulfill that role as well and recognize, hey, we really got to have something here. We're out of sync. Let's slow down here. And so, but we did a better job in the second half of that game of settling down.
Yeah, that was a great win. I think it was one of the more impressive. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Nixa contest where you guys won 66-65. And this one, you guys won 65-61. Again, because Nixa had similar size, kind of physicality. The Webb City press, again, was tough early on, but the way you guys battled, great. Just a great thing. But again, you expended a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Now we head into the championship Saturday, or championship Sunday. Championship Sunday. That's right. Taking on Marquette. Again, we talked about before. They're a long team. They're an athletic team. Got the girl going to Lindenwood, who
Yep.
proved to be what we thought she would be.
Yep.
Had a great performance. And here you go. Now you start off and you're going after them in the championship game. And it had a similar type thing where things kind of slow down. They were able to get those transition. And we're talking before we came on about how well they shot as a team in that first half.
Yeah. They shot, I was telling you beforehand, they shot 57% in the first half and to our 26%. And that was the game right there. Even number 15, I believe, is who Riley Anderson was guarding. Excuse me. And we was dorking off of her because she was shooting at like 20% from her first. I think the first 2 points of the game, she knocks down like a 17-footer. Riley looks at me and I was like, just stay off of her. Let's see if she can do it again. But they all shot it so
extremely well.
That first half, and it was just you're watching a heavyweight fight, boxing match, and it's just bam, bam. We're just getting tagged. And we wasn't tagging back.
It was the Rocky moment, that's for sure, man.
We was going down and we was getting shots, but they just wasn't falling for us. And Riley Dotson had a couple good looks at the rim and didn't get it. And Riley Anderson had some good looks at the rim and didn't get it. And Mariah got there. Bella was doing a good job of getting to the rim, but just wasn't converting. And we was getting looks. They just wasn't falling for us, and they were falling at the other end. And we dug ourselves in a situation, and it wasn't us playing bad. And like I said, we had 9 turnovers to their 7 turnovers, and we were even for rebounding. The stats was almost identical, besides the shooting in the first half. And I told our girls, it's like, they're not going to keep shooting like that. Like, just be ready. And they come out and they cooled off in the second half, and we started playing. We started getting the ball to fall, and Riley Dawson got really hot.
Well, again, she only had 2 points in the first half. Let's be honest. I mean, she had 2 points in the first half.
17.
And
she. But we finally got it going, and come back and made it a game, and cut it to 4 going into the fourth quarter. And once again, against they're number 9 now in the state, against the number 9 team in the state, being down 20, with a bunch of young kids, coming back to cut it to 4, shows that what we can do and what we're capable of. But like I told him tonight in preparation for tomorrow, we can't keep going out and spotting people. And definitely on back-to-back nights, we got down 14 to Webb City, and then now turned around and come back and grinded to win that. And then now we got back down 20 to Marquette, and came back and got it to 4. We had so much stress on our legs, and it just took a difficult toll on us to overcome. And I know we can be really good, and we've showed we can be really good, but we just got to come out and give 4 good quarters.
Yeah, that we were talking before, and I go, that might have been one of the best first half performances by a team that we've seen. The way they shot so well, because they had the length,
Yep.
they had the size. Number 11, I think it was number 11, the other guy that was on the Tourney team that was a nice shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, her form was nice.
Yep.
Her release when it left her hand, was going in. You expect it from her. You expect it from the Kenyan girl, the right?
Yep.
Last name Kenyan. Yeah, you expect it from her. And she's 6'2", man, and she handles the ball like a guard.
Yep.
Has a lot of game to her. Going to Lindenwood, I believe, and she's only a junior.
Only a junior.
I was like, yeah, wow. And but then those other ones hit. But again, the way they battled back, and then later on, as we got into the legs, I think played it in that final little stretch in that fourth quarter where shots kind of started drop. They didn't quite hit it again and had the legs. And it was frustrating.
Yeah.
And
when they stretched us out, they pulled us out, and that's where our legs really showed, where we really needed to grind down and try to get him turned over right there. Yep. We just didn't have it in us anymore.
Yeah, where you did the night before.
Yeah.
And you've done it in multiple other games.
Yep. And we didn't have it in us, and then we ended up fouling, put them on the free throw line. Now that they're a good free throw shooting team, they knocked them down and stretched it out, and that was just I really hope we get to see them again in March, because one, I think that we're going to be a different team in March, and I just really like to see what we can do with a fresh set of legs against them now that we got a good look at them.
And you won't be playing in March with this group of freshmen because they're all going to be basically sophomores by then after playing the season they've played with the experience they've gotten.
4 weeks, so they're getting ready to play.
Yeah, well, that's a great segue. Let's jump in and look at our sponsors, then we'll talk about where we're going. Oh, before we go, shout out to the girls that made it on the all-tournament team. So we had the all-tournament team, again, photo courtesy of Rob Barth Photography, appreciate that. Mariah Watkins, and there's a senior, Riley Dotson, once again as a junior, and Bella Campbell as a freshman made the all-tournament team. So kudos to the Lady Bulldogs on going back there. I think Riley's been this is her third year, and Riley's
third year. Mariah's first year, I think.
Mariah's first year because it was Kayla and them. So yeah, congratulations to all of them on that. Again, let's look at our sponsors. We already talked about Phelps County Bank is our title sponsor. Again, appreciate them. Go to mypcb.com. You can scan the QR code there. This is Home Sweet Boat Properties is our spotlight sponsor. So appreciate Danielle and Jared over there, what they do in sponsoring a lot of the Bulldog activities. Taylor Chrysler Coach Talk sponsor. Appreciate them. Jeremy Shelton over there just chatted earlier, said, hey, man, I've been getting contacts about people that said they saw it on the Inside the Huddle. So it's always great to have that. We also have Kobe Wan's Skills Academy. We're working on getting that facility going out there. It's going to be a lot of fun on that. Jackie Morozowitz in full bloom. Always appreciate her. She'll be out there on senior night as always. And I already mentioned the season ticket, 104.9. No episode this week. They'll be back next week. I'm going to try and join in on the road and give a call in on that because we'll be on the road. So let's talk about our upcoming schedule. So tomorrow night, we got Hillcrest. Hillcrest is coming home, so they'll be here. 5:30 JV, varsity to follow, probably around 7, but we want to make sure you get here a little bit early. So Hillcrest is 8-4 on the season. And then I'm just going to jump through Logan Rogersville on the 12th. They're 10-3 on the season. West Plains at home, 9-4 on the season on the 15th. And then at Republic on the 19th, and they're 8-2 on the season.
Yep.
Wow. That is something. So let's jump in. So we got Hillcrest tomorrow. Hillcrest, the former Ozark Conference foe.
Yep.
Again, we already talked about them. They're 8-4 in the season. They lost. The only joint game we had or a similar game is Nixa. They lost to Nixa while we defeated them. They lost 49-52 in a close one. We ended up having that nail biter by 1. Since 2008, we have an 11-6 record against them with a 9-game winning streak. So here we go. Last year we beat them 72-66 at their place. I was looking at the comparison. So points per game, we're averaging 64. They're averaging 54. We're giving up 52. Some of those high scoring games we've had, they're only giving up 37. So kind of interesting. So what's your thoughts again about Hillcrest? Some of their wins, I'm looking at them. They beat Baller, which is a decent team. Skyline's a nice Class 2 school, but they're not quite the Skyline team they've been in the past.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about what we expect tomorrow night from Hillcrest.
Hillcrest is they play really hard. They're ranked 10th in state right now. Uh, you know, they went to the pink and white, lost to Kickapoo by 13, lost to Nixa by 3. Um, but they play really hard, and they get out and try to scramble. They run some zone against you. They three-quarter court press you back to that zone, and they try to trap everywhere out of it. They got some size. They got one junior player that's really good player. They got some shooters around her. They got a little sophomore guard that's fast as can be, and she can play. I mean, he's got a nice team.
Yeah.
They're a good team. They'll be a handful coming in here tomorrow night for sure.
Yeah, I saw you down there going through the game plan and stuff. Always like to see that, having some approaches and getting the girls ready. Like you said, it's important when you have, 3 freshmen or 4 freshmen that are playing a lot of minutes. You got to have them ready to go. It's going to be a little bit different preparation than they're used to in junior high.
Yeah.
Again, having Mariah as that senior and Riley as that junior that have been through your program, a little bit more familiar, and they can then be that coach on the floor, as you said, kind of help remind them what they need to be doing in the locker room, in prepping the game when they're at school before the game tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump in and look a little bit at Logan Rogersville. So again, 5:30 JV, come on out here, cheer on the Lady Bulldogs here at the Rolla Fieldhouse. Varsity will follow, let's say about 6:45, maybe 7. But let's lean to the 6:45. Let's get a good crowd out here and cheer on Lady Bulldogs tomorrow. So then on the road to Rogersville, take on Logan Rogersville. They are 10-3. They beat Nix as well. They got wins over Branson. Tipton, like we were saying, is probably going to be the Class 2 state champion this year. Miller, smaller school. Skyline, smaller school. But again, really good small schools. And then Nixa. So last meeting was banned in 1922 and was a win for the Bulldogs. So what's your thoughts about Logan Rogersville? I know you've already taken a look at them as well.
Yeah. Logan Rogersville, they have a 6'2" post player that can play. They got the Buckner girl that I think maybe committed to Arkansas State. Don't quote me on that, but she's Division I player. And they got another girl that can shoot it really well. They took Stratford to the wire the other day in the pink and white turn. I think it was Stratford. Kickapoo. One of the two. They took second in the pink and white tournament, but another very, very good team. Went to Final Four last year and returned everybody.
Yeah, wow.
Very, very well coached. Got really good players. Believe in what they do. Get out and play some defense. Got some girls that can score it at a high level, and I mean it's gonna be a tough one. But this stretch right here, they all stay tough.
Exactly.
Hillcrest tomorrow night, ranked in state. Rogersville Monday, ranked in state. West Plains on Thursday, been ranked in state. Republic is receiving votes for state rankings and just got their post player back. Thank you.
Just in time.
California, who just got their only losses is in that Tipton tournament, which was tough. And then we see Lutheran St. Charles in the Herman tournament, and then we come right out of that. We'll see MICDS, who's number 3.
Yeah. And Lutheran St. Charles is 4th or 5th or something like that,
Lutheran
too?
St. Charles is 6th,
Okay.
Class 6.
Yeah.
MICDS is number 3 in Class 5, and they beat Marquette by 2. That's our next 4 weeks. So
Pack a lunch.
Yep, pack a lunch. We're going to work.
All right.
So
hey,
we're going to grow.
No, that's what we talk about. With that freshman group, you might as well get them used to it now, so they're going to be ready to go. And that's there. You take your small steps today for that big dream tomorrow, and I think that's what you're looking for.
Yep.
What is the key to victory for tomorrow night against Hillcrest?
Limiting their possessions and controlling our possessions and getting the ball where we need to. They do a good job of making it ugly, should I say.
Yeah.
They just scramble around and fly around everywhere that they make you look ugly offensively. And, we got to do a really good job of getting the ball to where we want to get it and attack from. And then we got to do a good job of shutting down their main key players. We got to do a good job of keeping them out of the paint, make sure we're contesting at the three-point line. They do a good job of shooting it, and they do a good job of breaking it down off the dribble and getting to the paint. So containing ball, and make sure that we close out properly around three-point line, and then proper execution against that zone and against that scramble defense. So,
I like it. Let's get it done.
let's get it done.
Get it done. So, last question for you. Ozark Conference, Hillcrest is the former Ozark Conference opponent. Who is the team that you always look forward to the most to play?
I always look forward to playing Kickapoo because when you think of Ozark Conference, you think of Kickapoo. They've always been to the top of it.
Yep.
So that was a team. I always wanted that challenge. As a coach, you always want to try to play the best, and Kickapoo is always the best. And so I always look forward to playing them because I knew that it was going to be a grinder. The least was West Plains and Scott Womack. I only beat him one time, twice. No, I only beat him 2 times, and I've never beat him at West Plains.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough place to win, man.
Yeah.
That is a really tough place to win.
At West Plains with Scott.
Okay.
And the one I always look forward to would be Kickapoo.
Okay. So now I want to we're not the conference anymore, so I can say, which gym did you least like playing in? Not necessarily about the teams or anything else, but you got to play in a gym. You can either not like it because I just didn't like it, or the atmosphere. Which did you have a gym that you're like, I just didn't like playing there?
As a player,
a player or coach?
As a player, I didn't like playing in Crocker's gym. The lighting was terrible.
Yeah, always.
Yep, the lighting in Crocker gym was terrible. I didn't like it. They've since changed it. In college, Harris Stowe, as a player, was one that I really didn't like. I liked WashU. We played at WashU and Mo Valley. One of my best games was at Mo Valley. As a coach, my least favorite would probably be, I don't know, maybe Lebanon. Maybe Lebanon. I wasn't really a big fan of.
It's a cool place to watch a game.
It is,
but a little bit different to play in it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The court just seems so dang big because the gym's so big.
Yeah.
So maybe Lebanon.
Yeah, again, the viewing thing is going to
go back to West Plains. West Plains, I can't win there.
I tell you.
I can't win at West Plains. I'm going back to West Plains.
Oh, it's hard to get around there, too, at West Plains, because there's not much room behind the bench. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. And it's all in the wooden bleachers in the one spots and rough. And we always get stuck sitting right behind the bench, which isn't good because then we're loud.
But the atmosphere there was fun, though, because we always, definitely the years that I had Savannah and Carly Libhart, and my first year here with Yonke and Ellie and Lauren Pritchett, we went into those games at the end of the season against West Plains, both of us undefeated in conference.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere was, we had the Ozark Sports Zone when they used to cover us before it was the black sheep of the family.
Exactly, yeah.
And we had them there. We had the stands packed. Everybody was on you. I never won, but it was always a fun atmosphere.
Yeah. Those were always different officials, too. It's officials you only see from West Plains. So I don't know what group they get them out of, but they are you do not see them in any of the other Springfield games. I'm just saying. Yeah. I just remember that. Well, Coach, hey, thanks a lot. Good luck tomorrow night. Again, come on out, 5:30 p.m. for the JV. Following that is the varsity game. Take on the Hillcrest Hornets. Come out, support the Lady Bulldogs tomorrow night, Thursday, here at Rolla Fieldhouse. I want to give a big shout out again to Phelps County Bank for being the title sponsor of Inside the Huddle, and also to Taylor Chrysler for being the sponsor of our Coach Talk Edition. Thank you, Jeremy, for doing that for us. Coach Charlie Parker.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle, the heart of the game. We'll see you next time.